How are businesses around the world reacting to coronavirus? By Manohar Manshrestha. Big businesses seem to have used two strategies. Strategy 1, cutting salary cost lab. Strategy 2, rethinking strategy and investing heavily on new hires. Strategy number 1, cost cutting. Basically, this strategy has got two sub-strategies. One is called the furlough strategy and the other is called the layoff strategy. Furlough strategy simply means putting your employees in the forced unpaid leave, and layoff means either temporarily laying them off or permanently firing them or letting the employees go on the condition that they'll be rehired once the business picks up. So this is a list of the various companies and the strategies, how they have used strategy number 1. The research is based on the website as attached here. So this table consists of several columns. First, the name of the company, the date of announcement, the sector, the mode of announcement, how many people were laid off, how many people were put on forced paid unpaid leave, how many what was the if there was any pay cut strategy, what was it, and if there is any information about closed or reduced interaction of person, it is placed in that last column. So on the 12th of April, Walt Disney, which is an entertainment industry, put 43,000 people on the forced unpaid leave, and it's closed since March 16th, and only 200 essential workers are maintaining there. On the 7th of April, Tesla, which is in manufacturing, sent an email to all its employees saying that all non-essential workers will be put on forced unpaid leave, and the pay cut will be at least by 10% for all employees. 5th April, JCPenney retail put a significant portion of its 85,000 employees under forced unpaid leave. 3rd April, Under Armour, which is in retail again, put about 6,700 employees in layoff. 3rd April, The Wing, a busy Instagram ready women's co-working company, laid off nearly all of its hourly employees and half of its corporate staff. And under the pay cut column, as you can see, the founders are foregoing their salaries. So where there is nothing on the certain column, that means that the information is not available. 2nd April, ClassPass, $1 billion platform fitness, laid off 22% of the 700 and put 31% of the 700 on the pay leave. 2nd April, Boeing, airplane manufacturer, had a laid off policy called which is basically voluntary laid off. Next series of companies. 1st April, Sotheby's auction house put 200 people in unpaid leave, that is 12% of its workforce. 31st March, Sephora, French multinational chain of personal care beauty stores, by a conference call, laid off 3,000 employees. 30th March, Macy, American department store chain. An announcement was made by CEO Jeff Gennette, informed via email. Most of its 125,000 employees will be put on forced unpaid leave. Under the pay cut category column, the CEO will stop receiving his salary along with the rest of the board of directors. That was said in the email. 27th March, Bird, electric scooter company, again told through Zoom call that lasted around 2 minutes that 30% of its staff will be laid off. 27th March, Everlane, clothing retailer focused on ethical sourcing, laid off 200 employees and put 68 unforced unpaid leave, and the CEO Michael Presney said he will reduce his salary to 0. 27th March, ZipRecruiter, online job recruiting company, job hub company, laid off 443 people and put dozens and forced unpaid leave. 24th March, Saunders, $1 billion apartment rental startup billed as hospitality industry disruptor, laid off 400 people, 1/3 of its workforce. So here we have another series of companies. GE laid off approximately 10% of aviation unit and put 50% of its in maintenance and forced unpaid leave. Pay cuts. GE CEO Larry Culp will forego his salary for the rest of the year, while GE Aviation CEO Davis will give up half of his salary. 20th March, President Trump's hotels in Washington, D.C., New York, and Las Vegas, which is in the hospital sector, laid off 200 staff. And we have information that other Trump properties like Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago have temporarily closed. 19th March, Air Canada, which is Aviation airline, laid off 5,100 or 50% of its flight crew. Cirque du Soleil, which is entertainment industry, industry laid off 95% of its 4,679 staff and kept 250 around of the staff for selling tickets in the future. 19th March, Metropolitan Opera, again largest popular performing arts organization in the US, laid off all of its union employees for the duration of the coronavirus outbreak. 18th March, Union Square Hospitality and restaurant chain laid off 2,000 employees, or 80% of its workforce. Pebble Hotel Trust on 17th March, which owns 50 hotels, laid off 50% of its 8,000 employees, and may need to laid off 2,000 more by the end of the month. Marriott Hotel on 17th March, a world's largest hotel, put tens of thousands of employees on forced unpaid leave, and the CEO announced that his salary was suspended for the rest of the year and senior leaders' salaries will be reduced to 50%. 16th March, Norwegian Airlines, 90% of its workforce of the 200 employees will be laid off, and it has announced that 85% of flights have been cancelled. Scandinavian Airlines, 10,000 employees, 90% staff laid off. Now on strategy number 2, which we'll call rethinking, mainly consists of hiring heavily more people and investing accordingly, and you will see the objectives as you go on. Now again, this based on the website of which the link is here attached, and the different categories news are name, sector, number of people being hired, the status they're being hired for, location they're hired for, type of job they're hired for, the type of profiling that the type of employees they're looking for, the hiring method, and the objective of hiring. So CVS Retail Pharmacy is hiring 50,000 people, full-time, part-time, temporary position all over the USA in type of jobs: store associates, home delivery drivers, distribution center employees, and member customer service professionals. Employees who were furloughed or laid off by some other of its major business clients, including Hilton and Marriott, are sought after. Virtual hiring method will be virtual job fairs, virtual interviews, and virtual jobs tryout. The objective is the new employees will help take some strain off its existing workers. Walmart, 150,000 workers are hired, full-time, part-time, and the objective is they say that they were growing and expanding, looking for more people. They want to make a difference providing for customers, and yes, so their hiring method is can get hired and begin working in as little as 24 hours. Instacart hiring 30,000 workers over the next month, and they are independent contractors, and they are saying to meet the surging demands. Amazon hiring 100,000 full-time and part-time workers, again hiring demands and seeking people who have been fired elsewhere. Alberstone Companies, parent company for Alberstone Safeways Rental Supermarkets, 30,000 employees they are seeking all across the USA. Dollar General, American chain of variety stores, 50,000 employees. PepsiCo Food and Beverage, 6,000 employees. Papa John's, one of the major pizza chains, is seeking to have 20,000 employees because to take advantage of all restaurants closing across the country. Domino's Plaza hiring 10,000 employees for the same reason. Pizza Hut, 30,000 employees for the same reason. 7-Eleven retail chain, 20,000 employees for same reasons, as you can see. GE Healthcare Manufacturing to build medical ventilators. Conclusion. From this presentation, I have tried to tell you that doing nothing and wait and see are not the correct strategies for this coronavirus crisis. If you are a business owner, now you have enough input to think and maybe rethink your business. Don't wait till it's too late.